Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and to the garden. A bit of a cooler day in the middle of November. I'm just going to take a look around at some of the kind of projects and plans for next year. There's a few new ones that we've kind of come up with. Again, find that most of the garden does kind of develop over time, and ideas change and plans change as well. So let's just jump right into those here. Alright guys, so firstly, you can see we have the rec pond here. We've got the liner in, started rocking up the back area. You can see just to the back there. So of course that will be a new bed area, which we'll take a look at in a minute. But for the first focus, guys, we're going to take a look at this bed here. So I'll just step back so we can get some perspective. And if we just take a look back, guys, so the bed we're talking about is that one underneath these camellia here. So the two larger trees there, those are a red and white camellia, and then we've got a budula just on the corner there. Now underneath at the moment, if we take a look over here, what we've got mostly in it, guys, is sort of your iris. We've got a rose, a lot of weeds. We've got the dusty miller, and then we've got a rosemary plant here. Now, as it's going to be off the back of the rec pond, again, as we're trying to change a lot of the plantings here to more tropical style, I'm trying to think of good plants that are going to go up to around about the kind of maybe 3 to 4 foot height, so you're talking 1.5 meters or so, somewhere in the order of that. Perhaps something evergreen, you know, doesn't all have to evergreen. Thinking of maybe some cannas and things in there as well. But again, that's one area that I would like to you know, get some suggestions on. Certainly leave some in the comments below of what you think might do well there. Just panning to that here, guys. Now underneath the table, now just take a little walk around just so we can see. Apologies on the mess again, guys. Mower's still out. I think we're going to be putting that one away for the year soon. Now if I just come back this way, you can see we're right off the back, off the chairs here. You got the lovely view out over the garden. Now that's the bed we were just speaking about. What I'd like to do as well is these slabs here, and probably to this one here, remove those and pull this bed out here. Now the idea being, again, I kind of want to close this area in a little bit from when you first come in the back gate. So extending that bed will look to do so. Again, looking for some sort of perhaps perennial and or evergreen plants to go there. Again, sort of easy maintenance, easy care, something a little bit tropical. It will get the benefit of overhead cover from the budula and the camellias. So something, you know, give us a little bit more play, I think, to what we can add there. Next to that, guys, if I just spin back around, behind these chairs here, also considering adding some sort of thin bedding along the backside, really just to put up a barrier along the fence here. Perhaps maybe some bamboos, something like that, maybe even like an arundinodonax or one of the miscanthus grasses. Something that's going to get tall quickly. Again, doesn't necessarily have to be evergreen, but just something slightly different just to put a kind of backdrop on the back end here. Now, as we look underneath this tree here, guys, we have spoke about this. This is one of the large bay trees. I'll just come out the other side so we can get a good perspective of what that will look like. We'll track around here. So underneath that tree there, guys, we've got a small Dixonia, and it's hard to get in there already. I would like to perhaps raise that up with some of the riverbed stone there, the larger stone, make it a bit of a raised bed to kind of carry on the theme of the rock here. Now, again, under that, guys, you've probably got a good meter squared to play with, and I'm thinking at least maybe one larger tree for an underneath there. But then after that, guys, I'm very open to suggestions. Again, kind of carrying on a bit of a kind of jungly look underneath that tree there here off the back of the pond. Another area, guys, we've kind of recently started thinking about is this triangle here. So going from there to here and to the water's edge. Thinking of potentially adding like a false stream bed, so similar to something like that up here, which we'll take a look at in a second, but some sort of false bed here, just to give the idea that you know, it almost looks like you got multiple channels of water coming into this large pond here, and also it puts up a slight barrier from the rest of the garden into the pond area. Of course, one idea, guys, is we will need to put some sort of fencing along this pond area edge here, really just for safety purposes. So probably going to use those stones, maybe make somewhat of a low wall, but also carry on perhaps something like a you know, pole and rope or something like that, maybe a bit more of a rustic style fence on that one here, guys. So any ideas, again, sort of small, low-level plants? I'm thinking perhaps even along the lines of like succulents and, down to things like your sempervivum and sedums. Again, kind of carrying on from the sedum garden we have just behind us. Just something, again, to kind of marry up a lot of this style that we've got going on here. Now, again, guys, another planting area is right off the back of the stream here, carrying around down off the back of the tee box, and also just behind the intake bay we've got there. So again, any ideas for that, guys? Of course, are helpful. Anything we're thinking. I know we've got one plant coming in here, so stay tuned for that. That should be arriving in about sort of the next sort of 5 to 10 days or so. So keep an eye on the channel to see what we've got coming in for here already. Very excited about that one. But again, guys, it is that kind of time of year when we kind of get to that planning stages. I find this is the time of year I do a lot of my hardscaping, new designs, things like that. Reason being, it gives me the time to get the work done. The ground's a bit softer, but not only that, it means I can hopefully get the project done before the spring so I can get right to planting for next year, as soon as the springtime hits there. Now, one last area, guys, just to take a look at here is following around to the back. Now, we have the banana's still growing quite well. Canna's still popping out flowers. You've got the yucca on the corner there, putting up a flower spike, which you can just see right there. But what we'd like to do, guys, is in this area here, again, it's trying to find some sort of different style of planting to really kind of raise the height off the back of the fence there. At present, guys, we've got a small Trachycarpus palm. I've got a very small, and I don't think it's going to last very long, a black bamboo patch there. Another one of the yuccas, a lot of weeds, and again, yuccas and bamboos. So it's just really thinking of something slightly different to add to this little corner here. Again, so any kind of ideas on the type of plants that would go well there, always helpful. But just as we come back over here, guys, again, I think this year is going to be working on this sort of corner of the garden and really kind of adding a lot more of the kind of tropical feel and vibe on it here. So with that said, guys, certainly drop any comments or suggestions below. Subscribe to the channel to follow along with the project and join our great community. Of course, a like always helps the channel to grow, and we'll see you on the next one.